Hey, I found a few things while working on the Tacoma to get it ready for our Alaska trip that are kind of scary. I don't know if I really know what I'm doing here. And in these boxes are some scary parts that I'm gonna have to install, but we're gonna make it happen and we're gonna learn along the way. So let's get into these boxes. I'll show you what is in here and then I'll show you what I have to do to fix my problem because it's not a good one. But first, I'm going to show you what we've done so far to get the truck ready for Alaska so far.
We've decided to take on the challenge of driving over 8,000 kilometers to Alaska and back, coming up in just 3 short months. The vehicle we'll be using is our 2002 Toyota Tacoma that up until now has been our daily driver. It's been one of the best vehicles we've ever owned, combining modern creature comforts with rugged off-road simplicity and reliability. A simple build-out list for the truck was established with the idea of creating a vehicle capable of driving and camping comfortably in remote and variable terrain continuously for over 50 days. We're optimistic about this build now, but I seem to have forgotten that things never go to plan when digging into a 20-year-old truck, and that solving problems is all part of the journey. There's a lot of work that I wasn't expecting to have to do coming up in my near future. It's all part of the adventure, and it's coming up right now.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Project Alaska Tacoma build. This has been my daily driver for the past couple years. We've taken it out on a couple of adventures, but that is all about to change because we are doing a build on the Tacoma now, which I'm super excited about. Partnered with Allterra Tech, they're gonna provide a camper for the back of the truck, which is gonna be amazing. We're gonna take it out on a big adventure up to Alaska, but before any of that happens, before the camper goes on, before we do an interior build out here, there are several things that need to be done. Removing the old body lift. If you can see this, it's a puck that sits in between the frame and the bed, and it gives a substantial amount of lift. So I had the idea of removing the body lift, cleaning up the frame, and then what I'm gonna do is plate the frame. So these steel plates sit on the frame just like this here, and I'm gonna weld them to the frame. That's gonna strengthen the frame. It's gonna get ready for the extra weight that we're gonna have sitting on the back of this truck. And then I'm gonna do a suspension lift kit on it. After all that's done, we're gonna pull out, we're gonna head on over to the Allterra Tech shop where they're gonna fit the camper. In July, we are headed up to the Arctic Circle. So join us for the build, join us for the adventure. It should be a good one. Let's get into it.
Just walking straight back? Yeah.
People might think we're crazy for putting this much effort into an old truck, and they might be right. It would definitely be easier to walk into a dealership, buy something brand new, and never have to worry about a single repair. Honestly, I don't really know what I'm doing yet or how this all works, but I'm willing to learn and figure it out as I go. That's the whole point, and it's one of the best parts of owning and working on an old truck. The stakes are relatively low if I mess something up, and old trucks make the perfect canvas for building and honing skills. At the end of it all, I may not have a factory perfect truck, but I'll have something even better. A set of skills and a vehicle I've taken apart and put back together and made my own. That means more to me than anything fresh off the lot. I believe it's important to bite off more than you can chew, to jump in head first, to move forward without having all the answers. In a way, working on old trucks teaches you a lot about life. After removing the bed of the truck, I take the opportunity to pull back some of the wiring and give the frame a good cleaning and spray down. This truck is 22 years old, and I'm guessing it's never had the bed removed. Dirt and grime has crept its way into all of the small nooks and crannies over the years, creating a perfect habitat for rust to grow and spread. Luckily for me, this part of the frame still looks okay with only minor surface rust and no cracking present. Rust is the biggest killer of these vehicles, so it feels good to be giving it a once-over. I've worked on a few old Toyotas in my life that have done some hard miles, and it's always nice to give them a new lease on life after so many years of service.
let's see if we can get it ripped off. So wrong.
Yeah, probably has some.
Who's flying the plane?
Yeah, exactly.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Okay, wait, you do that. You try and get all lower on this side of the and see if you ready?
Yeah.
No, nope. Oh, jeez. Okay, go up. All right, we have the cab actually lifted off the frame right now. It's hovering on some jack stands and some wood blocks. And I'm taking the liberty now to take out my old body mount bushings, which is this. I got one out. Take these out. This is, so the cab sits on this and then this sits in the frame. And I'm going to be replacing that because they're ripped and they're torn. And this is the kit from Energy Suspension, a nice new bushing there. So now I'm going to work on taking this one out and then replacing it with this new bushing. But this one was a bit of a bear to get out. I snapped the bolt and had to do some hammering and some prying and, you know, all the wonderful things you have to do when you snap the bolt. Thankfully, did not have to do any drilling. So we'll see if this one comes out any easier. And my bet is going to be that it won't be any easier because this is a 20-something-year-old truck from Canada and it's a bit rusty. So let's give this a pry here. God, I hate snapping bolts. Maybe I should heat it up first because I already feel like that's going to snap. But you know what? It's not the worst thing if it snaps because I can just pull it out from the bottom. Oh, might be turning. It feels like it's turning. If I can get this out from the top, that would be so good. Oh yeah. That was a heck of a lot easier to turn that bolt now. And it doesn't feel like it wants to snap. Come on, let's go. All right, so this is the new hardware that I bought. The bolts that go through the body, through the frame, and then hold the body to the frame. The ones that I took out are going to be much too long, so I had to go out and buy some new bolts and some new hardware. Let's just get all these opened up here, and then we'll start dropping new bolts in because we just got the last piece of the body lift out, and the body is now sitting nicely on the frame on its new mounts. Isn't that just so pretty? Man, I love fresh hardware, fresh bolts, nothing rusty. Can't wait to slip those in there. All right, now it's time for the fun part of the project where I get to weld on these frame plates to help strengthen the rear frame, the rear section of the frame. So I've got everything wire wheeled the best that I could. It's not going to be perfect because I'm not sandblasting it, but with the time that I had and the resources that I had, this is kind of the best that I could come up with. So I'm gonna get these plates welded on, and then hopefully tonight, still because it's getting pretty late in the evening here, hopefully I can start to get some primer going. And I also have a rust converter, so I'm gonna put the rust converter down in some of the heavier spots where I was not able to get the wire wheel in too close. Rust convert those, and then a layer of primer, and then followed by our top layer of paint. But it's getting late in the evening here, so let's see if we can get these welded up. The guys over at Allterra Tech are expecting me on Friday morning at 10 a.m. It is now Wednesday night. So I have a little over 24 hours to get this thing welded and painted and put back together in time to go get the camper on the back. So hopefully I can get it all done. I'm feeling a bit of a time crunch here, so let's get after it.
A little bit more heat here.
All right. Well, it turned into a pretty late night last night, but I got everything on the list done. I got the wire wheeling done, I got the plates welded on, I got some rust converter sprayed over the frame. So really now it's just coming down to paint. I'm gonna get some primer out and start spraying the frame, get a couple of coats of primer on, and then finish it off with our last layer of regular black paint.
Okay, let's go up. We're clear. Let's go down.
Okay, I'm good here. You can sit your side.
What is
Our
it
back
up
is a
on?
little high.
Is it sitting on something?
What are we up on? Oh yeah, I'm too far to lead. Oh wait, is that right?
No,
Nope.
it's gotta go towards you.
Oh wait.
There it goes.
That seems weird.
Yeah, it does seem weird.
Come look at this side. I don't know what this is happening here. Where are we supposed to be with that? I don't know where this is supposed to be.
Is there no map?
No, it just sits, the bed sits right on the frame.
No, we're not far enough forward.
I think my side around the neck is caught somewhere.
In the...
Well, this definitely is far enough.
Yeah. But it still looks like it's sitting so weird.
So,
I don't know what it looked like before.
It's angling down.
Oh, we're actually too far to Johannes' side. There's a goal hole that we need to move a little bit this way.
Why is it even? Like the back of the truck.
yeah, no, it looks perfect.
I think it does.
It's
actually.
pointing down because the truck's jacked
Oh,
up.
it's
the
jacked
rear.
up.
The rear. Yeah, it is.
Okay,
I was like,
that is
why
fine,
is it
yeah.
looking back so
Yeah.
high up here? But I think that's actually good.
Oh my god, we put the bed on backwards.
Let's fire it up. Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, reverse.
I think I like the new height, actually. I think the height looks really good. But yeah, we're gonna go see how this new, if I feel a difference in, like, when I go over a bump, to see if it feels any different with the body lift off and the new bushings on it. I don't know, we'll see. But I think it looks great. Good morning, everyone. I am driving the truck. It feels great. I had to adjust the shift linkage this morning because it was out of line. So when I put it in drive, it was actually in neutral. When it was in neutral, it was in reverse. You know, because of the body lift, they had adjusted the linkage. So I got that all adjusted this morning, and now I am on my way to the Allterra Tech shop to have the camper put on the back. Super excited. So I'm just on the road right now, rolling into Allterra Tech, and say good morning to the guys. And we're going to get into this install for their camper system. So let's go. It'll be a fun day today, I think.
I'm still a bit shocked that I was actually able to get the truck back together in time to keep my appointment for the camper install. Just 24 hours ago, I hadn't even started welding on the frame reinforcements, and the truck was in many, many different pieces. Having friends that were there and willing to share the load with me and get the truck back in one piece proved to be invaluable, and I'm incredibly thankful for them. Now, let's get this camper installed and see how everything looks.
Can we go your way a bit? In front of this?
Yeah.
The Allterra Tech OV1 addition to this truck is going to be such a game changer for our sleeping accommodations. It's essentially a traditional topper for the truck, combined with a rooftop tent to transform the bed of the truck into a live-in camper. In my opinion, it's one of the best accessories you can fit to a pickup if you use it for overland travel and adventure. This is going to add a lot of value to our camping situation for our time in Alaska.
I really don't want to have to do this. I really was hoping to avoid a repair like this. But at least there's a part here. At least somebody makes a part to fix my problem. Oh, and it came with a sticker. Rust Buster Frameworks. So by that, you can probably gauge what this is here. And it's not a fun thing to have to order for your truck, that's for sure. Oh, just throwing scissors around now. This is a section of the frame of my truck. And that's because my frame is cracking and rusting. The truck, when I bought it, had a little bit of surface rust on it, but just daily driving it through the winter over these years, and putting more time and effort into the Troopy than the Tacoma, things like this are going to happen. And like I said, my frame is rusted pretty bad. Well, not pretty bad. I have a crack. So on my current frame, I have a crack that runs right along the base here, just in front of the front leaf spring mount. And yeah, so my frame's cracking, and it's cracked on both sides. So I had to get the driver's side and the passenger side. So what's going to happen is I'm going to cut basically the section of my frame out that looks like this, or a small section, and I'm going to slide this up and weld it in. And this will be a repair for my rusty frame. And you know what? It's actually pretty cool. This is steel, and this kind of thing is so common on these trucks that there's a company that specifically makes sections of the Tacoma frame for people like me to buy and weld in and keep their truck running for another, 250,000 miles. Because we love our trucks, right? So instead of going and buying a new truck, we buy metal to repair the cracked frame, because we don't want to give up our 22-year-old truck or however old it is, right? We want to keep fixing it. We want to keep driving it rather than having a car payment, right? All that being said, this is a big job for me, and I can't really tell you that I know what I'm doing here. Thankfully, I'm going to have somebody come and help me with this. I have a buddy who's a mechanic. He's going to come help me do the welding on it. So I'm going to do the cutting, which is also, that's a scary part for me, cutting up a chunk out of my frame. But it's got to be done. I'm happy they make a replacement part for it. Honestly, that's good. Yeah, so that's going to be my big project. We just did a whole whack load of work to the truck already, and I was installing one of the last pieces on the build when I noticed that the frame was cracked. So you can imagine my disappointment when, after weeks and weeks of work, I see that the frame is cracked. It's gonna be an interesting one. Fix some rust, build a truck, and head up to Alaska in July.
Remember, for projects like these, always bite off more than you can chew and figure out how to do it along the way. This is what keeps life interesting and engaging and helps you to continue to grow as an individual. Coming up in the next Alaska Tacoma build episode, we get stuck into the frame repair for this old truck, taking time to cut away the old rust and exercising our faith that everything will work out just fine, hopefully. The suspension on this truck is pretty clapped out, so we also spend time to replace suspension components and give the truck a bit of a lift. It's all coming up in the next episode. If you enjoy our stories, please consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and supporting us on our Patreon page for the monthly cost of a cup of coffee. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next adventure.